Hello, very good morning. Thanks for clicking on to the US April and Spring Outlook of 2016. Yes, it has been a fairly disappointing winter overall. It's been a warm winter, and a lot of that has to do, of course, with the Super El Nino that was seen a record tying one that tied 97-98 as the strongest on record. And there's no question that has had a massive impact on the winter overall. It led to a record warm December, and that really shaped the overall winter pattern because the cold that did follow was weaker and shorter lived than I thought. And even the month of March has turned out warmer than what I thought. The reason why I thought it was going to be colder was because we've got a trend of warming within the stratosphere. We went from a what was said to be a record strong polar stratosphere, polar vortex, sorry, during the month of December, coincided with the peaking of the El Nino, and hence the record warm December across the United States. It has been weakening and coming and going somewhat during January and February, and there has been a significant warming within the stratosphere during the early part of March. That may have significant impacts on the United States atmosphere as we leave March and enter the month of April, and I'll show you that in just a second here. But it is said to be now at a record weakness versus the record strong that we've seen back in December. So quite the flip around, and this could be having a consequence with the weakening of the El Nino now. The atmosphere is starting to change shape, of course, with the seasonal shift. But you can see here, this is off the GFS ensemble here, and I want to show you here, folks, very clearly what is going on with regards to the overall atmosphere. Now you can see here that as we skip through this loop, we've seen a snowstorm, of course, over the eastern half of the United States. That is now leaving. We've got a ridge in place. Then notice up the west coast of North America, we're starting to build the heights. We're starting to build heights over Alaska, northwest Canada, and up into Greenland as well. And that may essentially shove a major trough, and I mean a record-breaking cold open to the month of April potentially. You can see that here in the loop, that will start to really go from the blues over the Arctic, over Greenland, over Alaska, to essentially a flip around to reds, positive heights. And that means that we're forcing Arctic air back into the lower 48 pattern. So you can see here the tremendous height rises here up into Alaska. And at this time of the year, yes, it's late in the season, but look at the trough that the GFS ensemble is driving initially into the central United States and then into the eastern half of the United States. And bear in mind, with the stratospheric warming, we're pushing pieces of the vortex that has been split southbound into the middle altitude region. It looks as if essentially we could have a piece of that coming down into the lower 48. Yes, I know I said that back in March that we could see that. We haven't really seen that as such, but I still believe that there is a lot of winter still left on the table here on the playing field as we go into the month of April. So what am I saying? I think essentially April could be a cooler than normal month given the overall setup. Even if we see warming taking place during the second half of April, I think the opening 10 days or 2 weeks of April could be so cold that it essentially, like we've seen with the warming in the first half of winter, it shapes the month overall to being cooler than normal. Then I think we're going to see a cooling of the stratosphere. We're going to see warmth and high pressure in the tropics and subtropics building northwards, and eventually we're going to burst into the summer weather pattern, I think, during the month of May. But let's have a quick look actually at the, first of all, the Canadian model for the month of April here. And you can see here that for the United States, April, just bear with me 1 second here. Now you can see here the amount of positive here extend over Canada, Greenland, the Arctic overall, and with the negative underneath, we still have an active jet pattern here, of course, cutting from the Pacific across the United States. But with this positive height field, you have cold air to tap into here over southern Canada, the northern half of the United States. So areas of low pressure that come in underneath will pull in that Arctic air and essentially drive waves of cold air into the pattern, I think, during at least the first half of April overall. As for the month of May, the Canadian seas, that we still have a positive here up to the north here, but I do think we are going to lose the positive. We're going to start to weaken that positive high field to the north, and it will essentially open the door to warmer air coming up from Mexico, from the Caribbean and the tropics here. And I think we still may have a bit of a fight going on between warm and cold during the month of May overall here. Let's look very briefly at the CFSV2 for April 1st, and you can see here that the model does indicate in April. Now this doesn't make sense, does it? Positive here over the Norwegian Sea, Greenland, into Alaska, and right down the west coast here. That to me indicates that we're going to have more trough extending from Hudson Bay into the mid-Atlantic region of the United States here. I think that is going to be a colder than normal signal given what we're seeing here. So the modelling does not really make a lot of sense, and that is quite typical of the CFSV2 if you ask me. For the month of May, what is it showing? It's still showing positive here up to the north, but more or less ridging all across the board here. I think again, if it's showing this amount of positive to the north, we have to suggest that we're going to start to see more cooler waves coming back into the eastern half of the United States, even during the month of May. But like I said, that time of the year, very strong sun angle. We're going to have a fight on our hands here, potentially severe weather quite often from the plains eastwards here, and I think we could be talking about bursts of warmth, then chilly air masses coming out of Canada. I think we're going to continue to see what we've seen all along this winter is a fluid west to east progressive pattern overall. So April, I'm going for cooler than normal. I'm also going for a changeable May, and I think during the month of May we will see a breakout into the summertime. We could be talking about the first 90s of the year even, possibly late April, if not in the May, I think, for the I-95 quarter. That's it for today. Thanks for watching if you're on YouTube. If you haven't already signed up to marvelweather.com, give it a try. I've got daily videos and written posts on the United States to check out here, looking in depth at the weather pattern both for now and for 10 to 15 days out. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.